worst airports in the world.
Number 13.
Hechi Airport. I'm pretty sure it isn't the safest place to build an airport, considering that China chopped off a mountain to build it. It sits on a remote island surrounded by water at an elevation of 677 meters. It is the highest airport and costs around $136 million to build. Pilots are faced with one of the most trickiest landings when flying in, as the runway is so narrow that it can only oblige to 3 flights an hour. It's a unique project built unlike any other, but can create a scary experience for passengers, especially if you already dislike flying. Would you consider landing here?
Number 12.
Kathmandu International Airport. The terminal is described as an underground bus station, and one passenger even commented that they purposely dehydrated themselves so they wouldn't have to use the restroom there. The underground terminal creates lots of crowding, making it hard to move. It's difficult to pinpoint when changes will actually be made. To make things worse, earthquakes in Nepal have damaged the runway. It had to be delayed to be open again.
Number 11.
Paris Beauvais Airport. You would think traveling to Paris should be the easiest part of your trip, right? Well, apparently getting to the City of Love is going to cost you time and your patience. The continuous waiting has caused agitation to travelers, but at least they have Wi-Fi to make up for it. But they still have a long way to go. Passenger complaints include more chairs, usable toilets, impolite staff, and more sanitized conditions.
Number 10.
Jeddah King International Airport. Its chaotic system and understaffed employees have created numerous complaints from travelers. Its multi-hour immigration lines lack assistance from officers, and its lounges are more crowded than usual. It's reported that the airport is underway to make changes, but the government is currently lacking the funding to rebuild it. Due to limited food outlets, food is also overpriced. A bottle of water can cost you $4. Delays are also said to be a major concern, but passengers claim they wouldn't mind layovers somewhere else.
Number 9.
Tashkent International Airport. Those who travel inside the airport almost always claim to have frustrating experiences. Travelers face long waiting hours for their bags to check in, and the airport lacks any crowd control. It is considered the busiest airport in Central Asia, so people are always on the go. People are constantly pushing and shoving, and the passengers must stand their ground to maintain their spots in line. Currently, the Uzbekistan government is planning to move the airport to a new location by 2030.
Number 8.
Kabul Hamid Karzai Airport. This airport has undergone a few renovations within the last decade, but nonetheless, it still has a lot more problems that need to be solved. They are low in staff, and it's hard to get comfortable as it is overly crowded. A number of military bases were built around the airport, which is also used by the United States Armed Forces. Passengers have complained of too many security checks that can be overwhelming. But with violence heavily affecting the airport, we know there is much more to worry about.
Number 7.
Islamabad Bhutto International Airport. It was voted the worst airport in Asia, and although the airport is working on to improve travelers' experience, they still lack in many areas. The airport is anticipating on building a new terminal, which will help ease up on crowded spaces. Waiting has become a nightmare due to the large, unavoidable crowds. Consideration of space is non-existent here. Outside of the airport isn't any better, as the lines to get to taxis or buses are meshed together. Overall, guests still encounter rude and awful service.
Number 6.
Caracas Simón Bolívar International Airport. Guests have reported their stay here as chaotic, dull, and uncomfortable. There's not enough chairs to provide seating, not to mention their low quality of food. Passengers have suggested that you're better off spending extra bucks on the lounge. You can also forget about trying to take a quick nap before your flight, because prime police and filthy areas make it difficult to do so. If you think it's worth it, accessing a day pass at the Premier or Admirals Club could lighten up the stay. At least you can purchase edible snacks and connect to free Wi-Fi.
Number 5.
Colombo International Airport, Sri Lanka. It's smaller than most airports and easier to navigate through when you're in Asia, but it's still poorly ranked. Guests have complained of unorganized staff members, smelly bathrooms, and filthy conditions inside the airport. One traveler complained about employees bribing travelers for money and carts stored in walkways that make it impossible to move. Food is also way overpriced. Purchasing Burger King can cost you $15 for one meal. You can also forget about finding a place to sit, as well as connecting to the Wi-Fi. The signal is so bad that you constantly have to sign in every 5 minutes. Well, on the bright side, actually, there is no bright side.
Number 4.
Ho Chi Minh Airport. With its increasing number of corruption allegations, Ho Chi Minh Airport struggles to improve its guest experience. TSA is known for bribing its passengers to speed up the system, and those who don't end up paying would be delayed and have issues with their paperwork. There are also long waiting lines and difficulty finding transportation from the airport. There is also no crowd control as travelers shove and push each other to get to the front of the line.
Number 3.
Saint Martin Airport, also known as Princess Juliana International Airport. It is the second busiest airport in the Eastern Caribbean. Due to its short landing strips, planes coming into the island fly especially low. Several pictures of aircrafts have been caught flying 60 feet over tourists on the beach. It may look photoshopped, but it's 100% real. It has even been a popular destination for plane watchers and photographers. Despite its scary approaches to landing, there have been no records of aviation accidents at the airport.
Number 2.
Port-au-Prince International Airport. Lack of seats, blistering heat, and mindless staff has ranked this Haiti airport to be one of the worst. One traveler even stated that he was stranded for 8 hours while waiting for his flight. And with no air conditioning, he was suffering in the 95-degree weather. Make sure to keep all valuables hidden, as thieves prey on unsuspecting victims. Renovations have been made to transform the airport, giving hope to travelers that it'll be bearable to stay.
Number 1.
Port Harcourt International Airport. Due to its corrupted structure, it's ranked the worst airport in Africa and the worst airport in the world. One passenger describes their stay in the airport as a joke, as a prop tent was made to be the arrival hall. There's practically no seating, no air conditioning, and travelers are left to deal with rude and unhelpful staff. Not to mention, guests have to endure smelly restrooms and unsanitized conditions. The airport's layout is also confusing, lacking signs and directions on where to go. With some renovations being made, there'll be at least new walls and windows to enjoy. Maybe these changes will make it tolerable to travel there.
Subscribe for more videos.